Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Expert Division with the tournament win for the qualifying round here in Golf Clash the Game. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. This is chart that we have implemented in our expert guide, which is run by Brandon Burke. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel down below. You will also see a replay from his here in the video as well, so make sure to check it out, give him a sub please. In the end, follow the info box on the right hand side to get the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I do suggest you to play with. Have in mind, to get the guides, go to patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link directly in the description down below. Let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we start at the plus 8 yard mark with Apocalypse level 5 plus, Apocalypse 5 and 6, 40% of the club into the rough line to the left with the red ring. And when it comes to using an Apocalypse level 4, we shall always start at the plus 14 yard mark due to the 6 yards less of power. Adjust max plus 10 power 3 numbers. Don't push up to max. Go with half a ball of curl to the left and max overpower with slow needle. Try to hit perfect. A great right is better than a great left to just have that added. But our plan here now is not to get into short iron range. It is to get into wedge range to get ourselves the best possible chance here for a drop, and especially to remove the glitch that is with a short iron if you just come to the wrong place. Now, for the second shot, I'm using a method that Brandon taught me, which is to count the green squares and then use that as a reference slider, or like as a slider. So what I'm going to do here now is that I go to max distance, I count the green squares towards the pin, and then I move back to go with a shot that is with no spin. So in this case, I do play with, it is 6 green squares to the pin. I play that one then 90% slider with a 50% over adjustment here with my Endbringer level 6. And you can see here now with a perfect ball, we will drop on the left side of the cup. So technically we could reduce the elevation a little bit because there isn't that much difference when it comes to, you know, the elevation jumps, so to speak, though. But in the end, though, we get ourselves a nice eagle on hole number 1, which in my opinion is going to be an absolute must. For hole number 2, we're gonna start in complete max distance with a power 3 ball and our sniper level 10. I'm looking to use 1.3 bars of backspin, 2 bars of side spin to the right, and now we're gonna pay close attention to the tip of the ball guideline to be somewhat to 1/3 into the dark green square row, pointing to the right side of the pin. Now, for the adjustment, we shall use maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment power 3 ball settings, and we shall also apply a 1201 pull angle. Adjust, and then we shall be taking our shot. You can obviously play this shot with a Kingmaker as well, so have that in mind. If you do have a sniper level 9, we would recommend to start with a power 4 ball instead. I know it's not gonna be max distance, but you're gonna have to start at the plus 14 yard mark with the sniper level 9, and that you can't get with a power 3 ball, so make sure that you do play with a power 4 ball instead to set up that position with sniper 9. But again, you can obviously change after that to another ball if you don't want to waste a power 4 ball here. So for the drive on hole number 3, we start with a power 3 ball to find the position we want to, which is a no movement position. Once that is done, we change to a berserker ball or any really power 5 ball with 2 bars of side spin. 5.8 bars of top spin, 2 bars of left spin. We shall in this case adjust maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Once that is done, we shall be using half a ball of curl to the left. No overpower whatsoever here. We just want to make sure that we're getting, you know, the power. We want to have the power for the second shot is what I'm trying to say. Like if we are having a power 4 or power 3, we might get ourselves into trouble for the second shot trying to reach for green in 2. Now, nice, we got ourselves to the fairway, 375 yards, and now I have the pleasure to lend a replay from Brandon Burke, who makes our expert guide on patrons. Make sure you check that out. Obviously, 6 topspin, 2 bars of right spin. We're looking to have the second bounce into the rough, pretty close to the bunker, but have in mind that we're playing this one mainly for an eagle. Sure, it is exciting to see that we do have somewhat of a semi chance for an albatross on this one here, but you will need to have in mind that, you know, that this shot is not going to drop often, and the most important part is that we do lock in that eagle. So in the end, the conclusion of this is that if you have a tendency to, you know, hit bad great rights and stuff like that, make sure that you are moving yourself a little bit more left so you have more room to play into the rough. If you hit perfect, then you will have no problem to land this ball on fringe or on green here for an easy eagle. No elevation for the second shot, max distance, as we're playing very close to max distance club. Make sure to push up the amount of rings needed if you're going to have to stretch out to, you know, to that you make sure to push up if you don't have the power enough on your club based on, you know, when you have added spin so you can see your set position. Hole number 4, start by adding spin. We do want to have 1 top spin and 1 left spin, and now we're looking to have the inner ring by the edge of the rough with the ball guideline through the hole. And you can see here that we're looking to have the ball guideline somewhat straight towards the pin, but most importantly in the ring by the edge of the rough there with ball guideline through the hole. Max plus a 10 power 3 numbers, and we're not looking to use any pull angle here for this shot. 8 miles per hour gives us 9 rings in total. You can see that I'm a little bit short here because I didn't give myself the room to adjust. I need to pull back and pull a little bit more. So make sure to not zoom in as much as I did. If you're not having grid lines, then you obviously have no problem with that. But if you play with the take shot button, don't zoom in too much. Bounce nicely on the fairway. We love how it zooms in. We love the speed. And this ball drops beautifully for an hole-in-one here on hole number 4. Hole number 5, we're gonna start with a Berserker ball, then change to a Kingmaker, then go back to a Berserker again. Might sound to be a lot to do on a short period of time, but it doesn't take that long to do that, as you can see that on the video. Because we're just gonna do 1 shot here, which is a very simple one. Adjust max plus 15, power 3 numbers. And then we shall not push up to max. We shall use 1.5 bar of left spin and 5 bars of topspin, which means that you can only play this one with the rock level 9. So what do you do if you don't have the rock level 9? Then you're gonna have to play with an Apocalypse instead, and obviously we have that covered when it comes to in our guide. You can also, with the rock level 8 and level 7, make sure to push up a couple of plus yardage as well to make sure that you do get the power, get the distance enough to get over. And you know, we landed on green, can't really ask for more. So this is an absolute money shot where you will, with the rock, be able to get to green. But again, you know, you can play with an Apocalypse that you have the same amount of curl. You can also play with a lower level rock, even though that's somewhat a bit of a risky thing, as you don't have the topspin that we value be the enough topspin to get over there safely. Hole number 6, and here we're going to play with the rock, and we're going to use 3 topspin, 2 bars of left spin, and we're going to play a no movement, which means that you shall not touch the target until it's time to adjust the rings. Max plus 10, power 5 ball numbers, and then we shall after that push up 8 rings with the rock level 9, 8 and 7. The only different things that we're gonna do with the rock 8 and 7 is that with the rock level 8 we shall push up 1 extra yard, and with the rock level 7 we push up 6 extra yards to compensate for the different power of the different club levels. Max over power with a slower needle, half a ball of curl to the left, try to hit perfect. Great left and a great right will still be fine here as we play with a very accurate club. And we bounce over the rough and sand to roll here up to the top, which is absolute beauty of a drive. And this is going to help simplify the way of getting the eagle on a tough par 5 like hole number 6 here. So now for the second shot. Now look at the first and foremost to add 2 topspin and 2 right spin. Now look at this red little sign that is in the rough there at the top. You do want to be approximately 1 ring to the right of that, with the tip of the ball guide line be going towards the rough. Now I am a little bit short, so this one makes sense that I'm not going to be in that case on green. So in the end, use the topspin that is necessary to get the ball guideline to that rough line there. So we adjust max plus 10, max overpower with slow needle once again, and max curl to the right. And in a worst case scenario, we will be by the green like that for a simple wedge to lock in the eagle on hole number 6. For hole number 7, the final of the par 3, we're looking to start without spin, and we go to just very end point of the rough to have the ball guideline through the hole. Once that is done, we shall change then to 0.7 bars of backspin. Make sure that you're not getting any accidental left spin or right spin. It's easy to get, so we need to make sure that that is not getting any. You can see that ball guideline is changing, but you can see that we're not really adding any spin. So ball guideline should always be through the hole. Medium distance with no elevation here, power 2 ball numbers, and here it is very important to not pull with any 1201 whatsoever. We want to have a straight pull, but if you're gonna favor anything, you favor 1159. If you do have a headwind, and then I would strongly recommend like a headwind angle, then we strongly recommend to add a click of overpower just a little bit to make sure that we're hitting the front part of the rough. If you do not have a headwind angle, and that's gonna be noticeable, then you don't go with any overpower whatsoever, then you just play normal. But that little click of overpower is necessary with that wind angle to make sure that we are not falling short, and then we will in that case go short and not have enough speed to roll towards the pin. Hole 8, we are not gonna make any adjustment more than try to fit now our bullseye to be in the center of the fairway neck. And you can see here now that I'm doing that by having the wind arrow pointing to straight north. Once finding that, we do add spins, half a bar backspin, 1 bar of right spin, and we do have, I need to say that, a lot of room for error here, as we do have a lot of fairway to play on. Now, we have this position based on 9.4 miles per hour. So if I have a higher wind like this, a 10.7, then I will pull 1.3 rings adjustment here. So it's going to be a 1-to-1 away based on the 9.4 miles per hour. Bounces beautifully on the fairway, getting over the rough, and we land this ball on the green for a simple putt for an eagle here on hole number 8. And that's obviously more, yeah, that's kind of what we would like, obviously. So max curl, max overpower from there, and obviously in the end this is a shot that we have designed for the rock, or not we, but Brandon has designed for the rock level 8 plus, so have that in mind when you play. So with rock level 7 you may need to have a little bit higher wind to start with to make sure that you can get that ball to green. Hole number 9, and we're going to start by using the rock. Start to position yourself at the plus 5 yard mark with the rock level 9. Once that is done, we shall then change to the Apocalypse. So we are using the rock to set up our initial position. So once we have changed there, we shall adjust max plus 10 with Apocalypse numbers. Add spin, which is going to be 4 left spin and 5 bars of top spin, and then we go max overpower, max curl, and you can see that the overpower will be with a slower needle as we are not in max distance of our club. The ball will bounce on the fairway nicely over the water and the rough, and to position ourselves very nicely here. If you do play with the rock level 8, you start at the plus 6 yard mark. The rock level 7, you start at the plus 11 yard mark instead. So, right, we do have a direct headwind here now, and now I'm going to use topspin and a little bit of left spin. So 5 bars of topspin, 1 bar of left spin, looking to have the second bounce to be somewhat just above the rough. Because the plan here now is not to land this ball on green. The plan is to bounce on the fairway into the rough to roll out on the fringe or fairway just before the green to just lock in the eagle. Because if we would be trying to go for green here, we're gonna have to go with max overpower, and that would be risky. And I don't want to risk that. I just want to be close to green and take my eagle. Max plus 10. Adjustment, use the Cataclysm or the Big Dog, depending on what club of them that you do have in the highest level. And you will get yourself nicely there by the green to lock in this eagle on in a very tough wind. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this playthrough for Expert Division with the tournament win qualifying round here in Golf Clash the game. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Get the ultimate tournament guide for Expert, Pro or Master. Go to Patreon, link directly in the description down below. Thank you once again for watching and good luck in your Golf Clash game.